Have you ever felt completely misunderstood and then found yourself in a sentence written 200 years ago? Okay, maybe not 200 years ago, 100 years ago, 50 years ago, or described in a piece of paragraph. Or let me change the question a little bit. Have you ever felt so much emotionally hurt and then found your state and condition being perfectly described in a paragraph in a book? In today's world, community is often associated with constant communication, shared physical spaces, and social media. However, one of the most powerful communities is shaped through reading. Hello everyone, my name is Nodira Qobiljonova and I am a British Management University student. I'm a foundation year student, and apart from being a foundation year student here, I am also a co-founder of Usum.Prep English, as well as I am an intern at Uzbekistan magazine, and I also have a part-time job in an English learning center. But apart of all of that, I also have my own hobbies that keep me pretty much preoccupied, and one of them is reading. And I just don't read because it's within my curriculum. I really love reading. And after me, you can find my books being totally sticked around with a lot of stickers, being annotated with a lot of pages. And this is me. I'm one of those girls. Now, reading as a safe community. Reading offers a safe space for readers to explore their thoughts and emotions without the fear of being judged. When we read, we enter the lives of characters who experience loss, joy, confusion, and growth, and we stay with them. So what I want to say is that when readers read those kind of books and they go through these things with the characters, they realize that their emotions are not abnormal or unusual. They say, wow, so I'm not weird. I can relate. Basically, I've been through a situation like that in my lifetime as well, and that was when I was confused about my university choice. I got into more than 15 universities, and I thought to myself, well, where should I go? Am I even on the right track? And then the book that is called The Cafe on the Edge of the World happened to be in my hand. And there was a quote that stated, no matter where you are or where you are going, just make sure that you are following your purpose. And I said to myself, so this is what I should do. And this is an example of how a book helped me make my decision. The other one is, sometimes all of us go through a very difficult time and we lose our close person. And in my case, the book by Nicholas Sparks that is called The Best of Me happened to be in my hand again. And then I thought to myself, well, look at this girl, she's going through the same thing. And then there was a quote that stated, losing a person does not mean stop loving them. And then I started reflecting on that quote and I said, well, yes, it is true. Basically, when we lose a person, we just don't stop loving them. We still have memories with them. We still have our own shared experiences with them. And lastly, at times of feeling demotivated, confused, I always remember this book that is called I Am Malala. And basically, many of you might have known her, but this is an example of a very powerful girl who actually changed the mind of many, many people. And then, after reading her book, I realized, well, if this girl had courage to do that, why can't I? Am I less than her? Am I better than her? I'm not. So I can do better, and this is an example of how a book can motivate you. Reading also helps us to be literate. In what ways? Well, reading teaches us to sit alone with discomfort. What do I mean by that? Discomfort is something that all of us go through when we feel emotional dependence. But reading teaches us to be emotionally independent. Well, what is emotional independence? Emotional independence is not that you stop needing people. No. I'm not a side of that. No. What I want to say is that emotional independence is that you stop needing people to tell you who you are. Well, in that case, a question might pop up. What is emotional dependence then? Well, emotional dependence is basically when we're waiting for the replies, when we're constantly striving to be seen and then to be noticed on social media. Well, I'm going to make a little bit of a visible contrast of social media and reading. On social media, we always try to be seen and valued by someone. We try to find acquaintances, friends there who can support us. But in the real lifetime, can that really happen? I don't think so. The real friendships are made offline. Let's be honest here. Basically, what I want to say is that we should not be isolated, vice versa. We should just find peace within ourselves whenever we read. As well as, let's talk about the reading literacy. Well, reading teaches us to sit with discomfort. What do I mean by that? Whenever we read, we go through the life of the character who is also experiencing the same thing. We're like, oh my God, what is happening there? This is so difficult to go through. And then we sit with discomfort reading about that person. And this is how we create our own inner peace, and then we see that that person is going through that, and why can't I? The second thing that the reading teaches us is emotions are survivable. Well, sometimes we might feel like, this is too much for me, I can't handle that. Or for example, the character is going through a heartbreak, grieving, or something difficult like that. And then we think to ourselves, this character is going through that, he's handling this so much well, why can't I? And lastly, it shapes your inner dialogue. The noise from the outside can get a little bit too much, and sometimes we don't even hear ourselves. But when we read, our inner voices become louder, and the outside noise does not matter to us anymore. By that, I don't want to say that we should isolate ourselves and become introverted. No, I just want to say that all of us have chance to feel emotional, independent through reading. And we can make our own conclusions of life, and we can shape our inner voice even much higher than that. Thank you, everyone.